thank you all for being with us. This call is for Farm Market Fresh for market managers so that, and we are thrilled to have both Kelly Wright and Matt here with DARS joining us today, and they are going to update you on the changes, what's going on, what's new, if you are a market that is interested in participating, what all is involved, etc. This was, for those of you that are not familiar, a program that we have actively wanted in the expansion for many years, and we're very excited to be able to partner with DARS and the Areas on Aging and the WIC offices last year in order to be able to help with the expansion and to work with the farmers market managers as well as the farms. And one of the roles that we took at the Virginia Farmers Market Association last year, as well as actively educating market managers and helping to bring in the market managers, is we also went out and we did the approvals on the farms. And I'm sure y'all all follow us on social media. And if you don't, Mary will be happy to make sure that you are following us on all of our social media. But you will have felt great pride and had a few giggles at some of the experiences that we had as we were out on all of the farms. Thank you so much for all of you joining us today. And without further ado, I'm going to keep letting folks in. And I'm going to turn it over to Kelly Wright and to Matthew with DARS. You guys take it away.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. To introduce myself again, I'm Matthew. I'm the Farm Market Fresh Coordinator for the state of Virginia. I work under Kelly Wright. I am the facilitator, the planning, go-to contact for anything and everything Farm Market Fresh. And I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about this. And I'm excited to tell you all about our amazing program. Kelly, do you want to introduce yourself too?
Sure. Thank you, Matthew. Yes, I am excited to have Matthew as part of our team as we take this program statewide. When I first took the captain's chair, it was less than 50% of the state for the senior side and even less for the WIC side of the program. And we are excited with VAFMA's strong support to have it now statewide. And Matthew's going to talk more about that. Thanks, everyone, for joining.
Yeah, and we have one more person who will be joining shortly. Her name is Madeline Burnham. She has been working a part of Farm Market Fresh for a while, and she's currently transitioning to a new role, but she's been very much a heavy support for us in this program. And she'll, once she joins, she'll just be here to monitor the chat, help answer any questions, because I do ask that as we go through all of this, that we hold any questions to the end. And if you have a question that you just don't want to forget, feel free to put it in the chat, and we may be able to get to it before the end. Like someone could respond to it in the chat for us. But we'll be happy to address any questions after the presentation, just so that we get it done within the time frame that we told you all about. So with that, I'll be happy to get started. So yeah, Farm Market Fresh, this is for market managers for all of you today. So that's why you all are here. We're going to be talking about this program in the view of what a market manager will see the program as, and hopefully be able to give you all the knowledge and the tools to help your markets be the most successful, help your farmers at your markets be the most successful, and hopefully maybe even help you guys understand how to get some more farmers to participate in our program, because we really do have a really great program, and we're really hoping to reach as many people and in the Commonwealth as we can, and you all are just a valuable tool for us to be able to do that. So just a little bit of some framework on Farm Market Fresh. So the federal name for the program is Farmers Market Nutrition Program. As you can see in our logo, it has a little bit of a subheading of that Senior and WIC Farmers Market Nutrition Program. We call it Farm Market Fresh. That's Virginia's program. That's our name for it. That's kind of helping us be able to promote it and help people recognize that they're seeing Virginia's program. This is like, that's Virginia, that's us doing it. So, and then it splits off into two kind of subset programs. There's a program that really focuses on seniors, and there's a program that focuses on WIC. They run almost exactly the same, aside from seniors have an application that they need to apply for, because not every senior in the state of Virginia qualifies with the income qualifications. While WIC, they don't have to apply, because every WIC participant, every WIC client in the state of Virginia just automatically qualifies because they are a WIC client. We can talk more about this later, but this is just how the organization of the program is, and just to give you a little bit of a visual on that. The purpose of the program, the whole goal is really to increase access to fresh and locally grown produce. Hence why we're at the farmers markets. That's where our local growers are. Hence why you all are such that valuable tool to us, and can really help make this program as successful as it can be. It really targets food security and trying to establish a more food secure community by basically filling in the gaps of who doesn't have that reliable access to nutritious local foods. And so we target local or low income seniors and WIC families in this program. We have a goal to support and build local agriculture and communities, and really strengthen those agricultural communities and food networks and local food systems. And also, we limit it to local and fresh produce. So we're really trying to encourage those healthier food options and filling in that gap. Whereas like WIC and SNAP, they increase access to food, but there's a lot more options to go into like processed and non ultra nutrient rich foods, and we're trying to really encourage those local healthy food options in this program. I'm trying to just fill in that gap and make it another affordable option to many Virginians in the Commonwealth. So where is it offered? It's offered everywhere. We last year went through a huge expansion. I came in towards the end of the season to start working on this program. We went through this huge expansion over the last year to try to go everywhere. We got almost everywhere, and this year we're everywhere. Every county will be represented this year. Every senior who makes below 185% of the federal poverty level is eligible. We're everywhere. On the WIC side, that's a bit different. I don't have our updated WIC map. I didn't want to put in our outdated one, but there will be, there are the whole Southwest region. So to give you a visual, basically region 5 that you see, that's the gray, region 12, and then further southwest, that whole region is covered, and then there's some other regions scattered throughout, some other health districts scattered throughout that will be participating on the WIC side. So, but on the senior side, we're fully statewide. So there is opportunity at every market statewide for seniors to come and try to find our program. So who works in this program? Who are our partners? Who are the people that you could probably be familiar with? Obviously, we have VAFMA. VAFMA does a lot of support on us with doing some farm visits, marketing, and just promoting our program. They've been a huge support in the expansion. We also have VDACS, Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. So, like I said, VAFMA helps us with some farm visits and such. For they help support where there isn't really that VDAC support, but the rest of the state, so the state is split into 6 agriculture regions based on that VDAX provides to us. And so VDAX has staffed a worker for each of those regions to help support us in the program, and they do the majority of the farm visits for the assigned regions. And this year we have a region that isn't covered by VDAC, so VACMA is supporting us. Virginia State University has supported us in the past, and such like that. We also do work with Virginia Fresh Match. Currently, Virginia Fresh Match doesn't participate with Farm Market Fresh, but we do a lot of work with them just because they're present in a lot of the same markets that we're at. So they're just overlap and work there that we just try to collaborate on. And then same with Snap. We do talk with Snap a lot, and they do support us because again, they're everywhere. Snap is everywhere. It's at the markets, at grocery stores, at everywhere that almost everywhere that food is sold. So we're just trying to really collaborate with these groups, and we're doing a lot of work to ensure the best access we can by just making sure that we have all these great partners. So giving a little bit of background on program impact. This upcoming year, there will be over 36,000 booklets available to the community that's covering both senior and WIC combined. And that means that there's over $1 million that is basically going to be available to the community, to the public to use to purchase these fresh and local produce. We have it on the senior side that the poverty guideline, the income requirement is at or below 185 FPL or federal poverty level. Just so that we can, it used to be 150 and now we raise it to 185. And that just really grows our ability to reach more people. And then in 2023, to sum all of that up, the true impact, we were able to, we saw a redemption rate, and by redemption, I mean like the actual number of vouchers that farmers actually got paid for. We saw about 55% redemption rate amongst senior FMMP or senior farm market fresh, and 37% amongst WIC farm market fresh. So that just means that 55% of all booklets that were, or all vouchers that were available were actually redeemed for, were actually redeemed by the farmers. This is a process where it's everything that comes after actually giving the vouchers to the seniors and the WIC families, and then it's actually the actual exchange of voucher for the produce, and then the farmer actually has to redeem it. So it's after all those steps, we saw 55% or a total of 53% overall redemption rate amongst the entirety of Farm Market Fresh in 2023. For those of you that have been along with the program or have been hearing about this program for years and been seeing it progress, I know that these numbers may seem a little low, but just keep in mind that and like I said earlier, there was this huge expansion in 2023. So there was all these new regions where not only was not only were seniors getting the vouchers for their first time, but also farmers were being present for the first time in this program. So there was lots of growth, and now that we're everywhere, kind of building off of the impact that we left last year, we're going to really try to reinforce those redemption rates and get those higher, because now that we're everywhere, we can continue to just grow within instead of growing out, which today is where you all can really be a huge impact in that. So what are your farmers going to see when they are participating in the program? The first thing, especially for all new farmers, so this is for farmers that did not participate in 2023. They'll be filling out this application. Each application is active for 2 years, and it's by application being active, it's the agreement that they sign that is valid for 2 years. And we'll touch the agreement in the next slide. But just to go off of this, farmers can only sell produce that they grow themselves. There's no purchased or traded produce that can be sold. We do have an exception to that, but that's only if there are if they are unable due to like natural causes to grow their produce that they normally grow. But that's usually not something that we have to worry about. Most people are able to grow, but really just anything that they sell, it's got to be 100% self-grown. That's actually sold for Farm Market Fresh is eligible. So once someone applies and sends the application in, depending on where they receive the application, they'll send it to one of a couple different locations. If they send in an application that was mailed to them, because each year we do mailings of applications to our farmers that are in our email list, they'll send it directly back to our the agricultural representative for their region. And then that agricultural representative will review their application and sign it off, approve it, or send it or send their letter of denial, give them why, and then for new farmers, once they're approved, they will be visited for a farm visit, which I think we touch on in the next slide. This application is where they'll put down eligible all the eligible foods that they grow, and all of the mailings will have a farmer handbook, and then our farmer handbook will be posted online where they can find out what those eligible and ineligible foods are, so that they can know what they can and can't grow. But it's pretty much all naturally, or like all foods that grow under normal growing conditions in the state of Virginia are eligible. But if they need any references, there will be references in the handbook that they can look at. Now, the farmer agreement, like I said, after an application is filled out, they'll also fill this out, and this is what kind of solidifies them in the program for 2 years. So once this is filled out and both the farmer and us at DARS sign it, they will be able to participate in the program for 2 years. And that way they could collect the vouchers for 2 years without having to refill out the application and go through the farm visit again. That's a once every application period, not a thing that has to happen every single year. But this farmer agreement does have to be returned with the farmer application. So remember that if you're talking with your farmers about this program, make sure they know to send back their application with this agreement. Both are available online. Both will be available when will be provided when we send out actual mailings. So they'll be able to fill it out as well. But they have to send the farmer agreement with their applications, just so that when we do all the processes, they get all their documents back at the same time. They don't have to worry about the time of sending it out and back and then out and back, and get it all done in one fell swoop. So farmers applying, we have a list of farmers, but it's not extensive. It's not every farmer in the state of Virginia. We need your help to really recruit these farmers. It's good, like a lot of these key details here are good talking points to let them know that especially for farmers that have heard about the program and have been kind of holding back, especially in that first bullet point. They're now available. Each application and agreement is now valid for 2 years. Some farmers didn't want to have to worry about an annual farm visit to participate in this program or applying annually. But just help us recruit farmers and something I want to kind of put this out because I checked our registration just before this, especially for our first training on Monday. Every farmer that applies and participates this year, whether it's new farmers or returning farmers from last year, they have to participate in our training. And I'll go over why in just a bit, but they all have to participate in our training this year. And I have a list right here of all of the training dates so that you guys can be able to convey that. But all farmers have to participate in the trainings. It's pretty important this year because we have some new processes. Yeah. Yeah, if you have any questions on farmer recruitment or the application process for farmers, please reach out to myself. You can also post the questions in the chat and we can get to that either Kelly or if Madeline is here, they can respond to you or we can talk about it at the end. So back on the farmer trainings, it's required for every farmer and everybody participating in the farmer training needs to register online. And on our website, if you scroll down, you'll see a farmer training section and then it says click here to register. It's also up on VAFMA's website where they can register. And you'll see the list of dates and times. We do have some dates that are in the afternoon at 5:30 and some are in the afternoon at 3 o'clock. We did that to kind of match up with some people not really being available during like the work day, sometimes being more available after like 4, 5 o'clock. So we're trying to give a little bit more flexibility this year on that. So make sure that's like conveyed because we don't want people to like think that, oh, it's at 3 o'clock again this year and I'll just attend on May 20th at 3, not realizing it's at 5:30 or vice versa, trying to go at the April training at 5:30 and realizing they've already missed it for that day. So just help convey that out. If you all are like want to attend, you guys are more than welcome to attend any of the sessions. In fact, it's encouraged because that way you guys can see what the farmers are seeing. And that way we can make sure all of you get the same kind of training as well, because I'll be talking about it in a bit. The new processes, all the farmers are going to get special documentation to help them on that. And you all, I'm planning to share that with all of you, but that space is also going to be a place where we can we'll be actually discussing those new processes in a bit more detail. If they're unable to attend the virtual trainings, we can coordinate a one-on-one training with their regional representative, their VDAX representative, or with VAFMA, if depending on which region they're in. But they'll need to inform us of that. We are doing the registration to make sure that we get an attendance list. So we'll be able to know out of the people who do apply and are already certified to participate, we'll be able to reach out to them. But if anybody else doesn't or isn't already a part of the program but still wants to participate in the training, they'll make sure that they reach out to us because we may or may not have them in our mailing list, and we want to make sure we include them as much as we can. So I'll take a time to pause right here because we're about 26 minutes in now. I'll open it up for just like one question. If anybody has a question, feel free to raise your hand. Okay. All right. I don't see anybody raising their hand, so we'll move on. So what you guys see on my screen, that's gonna be what farmers handle the most. That's what they're gonna have at every market. And that's and down in the bottom right, that's what the farmers are going to be actually receiving. Oh, I do see a question. Margaret?
Yes. Several of our farmers last year suddenly were given these coupons, but we had not been informed as the farmers market manager, nor had our SNAP coordinator, Brandon Hare in Alexandria, been informed of these. But our farmers can coupon just to help our low income seniors. I will make sure they are registered this year, but is there a way that they can continue to be reimbursed from 2023? Because our farmers are, like many of our smaller farmers, really struggling to stay afloat as well. So
Yeah.
what do we do? I've saved the little form for them. What do we do?
Hi, Margaret.
Unfortunately,
This is Matthew. I just wanted to jump in here. This is Madeline Burnham. I went ahead and I tried to answer your
Yes.
question quickly in the chat.
Yes, ma'am.
Unfortunately, this is an annual, it's a seasonal program, and any vouchers collected last year had an expiration date of November 17th on them.
Yes, I know. Yep.
Yeah,
And so out to all the Madeline, I will tell you, we reached out to VDAX and everyone else about this. No one gave our farmer any assistance on this. So they will be very unlikely to want to participate again. This was a dropping of the ball on the part of VDAX. I'm going to say that up front.
Mhm.
It was very disconcerting and very, I don't think our farmers will do this, given what
Margaret,
you've just said.
let me ask you this. What farmers market are you with?
I'm with the Old Town Alexandria Farmers Market, Old Town North. We're there on Thursdays and Sundays. Our farmer is from the Northern Neck, Ignacio's Fresh Produce. He tried everything he could to get registered ahead of time and could not do so.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am familiar with that situation. And
Yeah.
so that was a complex situation last year. Anyway, I don't want to take away from the rest of the presentation.
I know exactly what happened, and you and I can talk about this offline. How's that?
Absolutely. And what I just want to reinforce is that farmers should not be accepting any vouchers that they aren't familiar with. Okay.
Right.
So in order to prevent situations like this from happening, the best guidance we can give is, if you don't know what it is and you don't know if you're able to accept it, rule of thumb is don't accept it. And find out more information before you do, because we really hate to hear these unfortunate situations like this or with any other program, because that's ultimately something we really want to avoid. So I'm glad you're here on the call today, and you can inform your farmers of exactly what the process is that they need to turn in the application with their agreement, and then they need to do that on-site farm visit, and the online training. And
I know that was a problem.
Yeah, and the main thing here with the online training is trying to get the correct information to people so that they know how to accept them and what the process is. So I'm really sorry that happened. I'm really glad you're here today, and hopefully we can work together to make this a stronger experience this year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Of course.
And so I'll say this now. I'm going to keep moving on. So if you have a question, if you're someone that has your hand raised, write it down, because I'll stay on this call after we finish the presentation to answer any further questions. So I'll be happy to answer them then. Margaret, I will also say this, please, if you want to include me in any conversations, I'll be happy to meet with you and your farmers outside of this to talk more about this year's program. Because unfortunately, like Madeline said, that anything from last year we can't really do anything with anymore, but I'd be happy to help make sure that the program works for you all this year instead of you all trying to work the program into it. So just include me on that stuff, and I'd be happy to help out. So going off of all this, what you guys are looking at right now, this is going to be the sign that is posted for this year. This is what what all your farmers are going to get is this light yellow sign. This is the color scheme that we're going off on this year. So this color is going to be the color for the signs that each farmer has to identify themselves as a participating farmer. And this is also the color of the vouchers this year. And as you see in the bottom right, the vouchers look much different this year than they did last year, which I'm going to be expanding on soon. But this is kind of like the official look this year of the program. There we go. So the Farm Market Fresh team, you guys do play a part of this team that is Farm Market Fresh. Like at the center of it is the program, but then you have us at DARS, who we kind of are the administrators of the program. We could just really help it be the most successful it can be, and really just reinforce and support any way we can. Then you have our area agencies on aging, WIC agencies, and other community partners. And by other community partners, there's others including like Fresh Farm, Petersburg Public Library, City of Emporia, and others that really help fill in the gaps where some of our agencies can't reach. So we have all those are going to be all of our voucher distributors. And then you have a VAFMA, and all of you Virginia Farmers Market managers. You're another part of that of the team that makes up Farm Market Fresh, being that support on the farmer side. And then we have our farmers / our vendors. All of them are obviously one of our most critical parts of the program. Our ag team, VDAX, you all at VAFMA, and then our banking partner, and that. So some like little things that you all as market managers can take on as like kind of roles is helping us recruit farmers, passing out any flyers that we provide to you all, just encouraging participation, understanding the policies so that you all can better support your farmers and shoppers, and then being that resource to your farmers and shoppers. And we'll make sure you all have the resources you need to be able to do all this stuff. We don't want it to feel like an extra task that just makes it a more strenuous day on you. So we'll try to make sure that everything that you need is provided, so that you all can just be as successful as you can on this. But these are kind of like the roles that we hope you guys can really strive to do. But this isn't just limited to this. If you guys want to take on more to help us, we'd be happy. We're also happy to hop on to any meetings with you and your farmers to help talk about the program, because we know that sometimes getting it in an email or getting it on a flyer is just a little bit of information. It's not everything. It's not everything it can be. The handbook can sometimes some people may need some extra info to understand it. So I'm happy to hop in on some meetings. Also, the farmer trainings aren't just for accepted farmers. It's for anybody that is even interested. We're here to support. Now we're on connecting seniors to vouchers. So there's a rough process to how seniors actually get the vouchers. They apply for the program at their area agency on aging. There's also going to be other ways where they can apply, which is going to be posted on our website for DARs, and whenever they apply there, it'll get directed to the proper agency based on which county they live in. But there also will be those physical applications located in each voucher distributing agency to that seniors can actually go and apply. So each agency is going to process the application, and then the agency distributes those booklets. The seniors are going to get a $50 voucher booklet. That's going to be 10 $5 vouchers, and they'll also provide them with guidance on how to use them and where to use them. So once seniors are at the markets, they're going to use those vouchers to then purchase those fresh and local produce that you guys grow. But something you all can really help us with, though, and we can provide this to you all, is you guys could also help provide the application to our seniors, to the seniors in your community. If you know someone, or if someone comes to your market and they're asking about these assistance programs, whether it's SNAP, whether it's Virginia Fresh Match, or even our program, we'd be more than welcome to provide you all with the application. We'll have it as well. We'll have the online version on our websites, but you guys could go to your local AAA to get the printed off one. We're not going to just provide the print version on our website, because then there's no way for them to know which agency to go to just by looking at the application, because each agency that provides the vouchers will be able to each agency that provides the vouchers will be able to put their contact info on where to return it before posting it to their website. So each region is going to have a different application, if that makes sense, because having a couple thousand applications coming to central office and in our office here in Richmond isn't going to be the most effective and most efficient. So just trying to establish efficiency on that end. And then for the WIC families, connecting them, if you guys get any WIC families that come in to ask about the program, like I said earlier, they don't actually have to apply. They just, like, if you direct them to their local WIC office, the family will get to pick up the $30 voucher from their participating WIC or from their local WIC clinic. And then the WIC clinic will provide them with like a brochure and locations of all of your markets and who's participating at your markets in Farm Market Fresh. And then they'll be able to spend those vouchers at your local markets. They do get a different booklet, though. They do get a $30 booklet. And it's not 10 vouchers each. It's going to be 6 vouchers, still valuing at $5 each voucher. That they'll be able to use at the markets. So we showed this image earlier and talked about this new process, but we're gonna kind of dive into this, and I know that this probably will spark some questions, some thought. So feel free to ask questions about this. Hold your questions to the end for discussion if you want, but if you have the question, I see some people are curious about questions, you could post them in the chat and we'll get to them there as well if we can, and then if any that we don't get to, we'll talk about at the end. But there is these two new ways farmers can redeem their vouchers. One is through this QR code, and there's going to be farmers can now redeem their collected vouchers in a mobile app through scanning a QR code. And this is going to be for all the farmers that have that access to technology, so that we can and this way it helps the farmers get their money a bit faster. It's got each they all the transactions will be processed weekly so that they can get their money on a weekly basis. And it'll be deposited directly into their bank account. It'll be, and it's on us. It's with the same partner that we worked with last year, but it's just a new program. They're referring to it as their hybrid solution. So for those of your farmers that may not have that access to tech, that reliable, consistent access to technology, or may not feel comfortable using it, we do have a second option though for them, and that's going to be to mail in their vouchers. The address will be provided to them in their handbook, so anybody that does participate, there will be the address of where to mail in their handbook, and it's going to go directly to the partner that prints off all the vouchers. It goes directly to them, and they'll process those. In the past, we had stamps for each of the and what were checks in the past. For any mailed in vouchers, they will be required to stamp them with a number, and they'll get provided with those stamps as they apply. For returning farmers, they'll be able to use the same stamp as last year. And for farmers that are applying for this year that are going to be new this year, we'll provide them with that stamp. So any farmer at all is going to have a stamp, but if they choose to mail it in, they absolutely have to stamp it, because that'll be the way that the processing center actually identifies that voucher with that farmer, so that farmer can get the proper amount basically deposited into their account, redeemed into their account. Something important and something that I'd be happy to help out with and help understand is that all farmers still need to create an online account regardless of what redemption model that they use, because they need to basically set up where the funds will be deposited to. And if there's and we'll provide all the materials, all the training materials necessary to all the farmers, and we can provide them all to you as well. If there's any difficulties in signing up, they'll be able to reach out to the partner themselves. So they won't be calling us, they'll actually be calling the actual partner to get assistance, because they have some a part of this new process. The people we're working with are offering technical assistance to anyone who needs it to sign up for this program and to utilize it. So if there's any troubles that your farmers have like setting up their accounts, using it, using the mobile app, or any questions on mailings, they'll be able to contact the processing center and get those questions handled. They're able to do that for us, since the vouchers are a product of their process. So I'll kind of speak on this one question since we're right here. If a voucher gets lost in the mail, that's when they're going to have to go and call that processing center, and those numbers will be provided in all the training materials that they get, all the instructional materials that they get. That number will be provided there for them to be able to contact. If they're using the mobile app and they have a question on QR code, like it may not be scanning properly or something, all the contact info they'll be able to call that same number. Every resource they'll need to be able to reach out and ask those questions will be located in the app, and all the training materials. We'll be able to provide any assistance, the connections for any assistance on this, because it is a new process. It is different from last year. There is no depositing anymore at your bank, because it's no longer a check. It is a voucher. Hence why we've been calling them vouchers. So if there's any need for assistance or questions, I'll be happy to answer questions, but assistance is going to be that processing partner, that banking partner that we are working with to get this going. I'll be happy to answer any extra questions on this after, because I know that this probably is gonna spark a lot of curiosity and questions and needs for understanding. Honestly, I had this slide, didn't quite understand what to say for it, and I realize now I didn't hide it, but enjoy this image of some nice fresh produce. Maybe it's a good brain break on all this information. And maybe, you know what, even ask yourself these questions. If you have any questions on anything, please type in the chat. We'll get to it. So timeline. This is pretty much a timeline of this entire program for this year, helping you understand when some due dates are and when you can see things starting. We provided applications to VAFMA to hand out at events starting January 19th. So you may have some farmers that have already seen the application and have already filled it out. In February, we posted the application to our website for farmers to apply. And then sometime in the coming weeks, we will do a mailing for everyone. April 20th is our soft deadline for applications to come in from farmers, because then we can include them in marketing materials and in lists. Anything that they consent to us including them in, we'll be able to include them in those. And that'll just help. That'll help with bringing people to their market stand. That way we can include them in and any materials we provide to participants. In May, we'll be sending all the vouchers to the AAAs and the WICs. They'll be getting them, so that means that they'll be able to start providing them to all the participants around then. And then June 1st is when the program really officially starts. That's when farmers can begin accepting the vouchers. So that's when they'll be able to accept them and also redeem them. Now, we spoke about the soft deadline for farmer applications, but July 15th is our last day that we'll accept any at all, because we want to have a consistent list of markets that people can go to. So we do want that due date in there where we no longer accept applications, because each week, once we get that once we start providing materials to our AAAs and our WIC agencies and on the agencies distributing the vouchers, we send them a list of farmers and markets and where their participants can go, so that they can provide that info to all their participating clients and seniors to keep them updated. And also so that we can also send it to VAFMA, because they do graciously have it all mapped out for us, so that we can have that visual map of where people can go. September 30th is the last day participants in the program can actually receive the voucher booklets. And that is because we want to get those out there and just make sure that as many people have them in their hand as possible. And they'll have another like 2.5 months to spend them up until November 17th. November 17th is the last day that they can spend them, and then November 30th is the last day farmers can actually redeem their vouchers. And that's important because we just talked about farmers and their situation was a little bit different, but trying to see if they can get them still redeemed after or like later on after the program ends. We have accounts open with our partners, and we have to close those accounts, and we work with the USDA to return that money, because then we have to reapply every year. So we don't have the money for redemptions all year round. Unfortunately, we're limited on when the redemptions can occur. So making sure we reinforce that November 30th date so that everybody gets it in is really important, because we want everybody to get the money they're owed, because it is their produce that they're selling. So we want to make sure that there's equal opportunity for everybody to get the money that they can redeem all the vouchers that they received this year. So we talked about a lot of programmatic things and talked a lot about just the how and the what and everything about the program to make you guys be able to be successful on supporting your farmers. But and a lot of you probably are already great at this, because I mean you're here, you're talking to a lot of partners, you're in this group today. But part of this program is building a community, building a healthy community, and you guys can help with that by participating in all these kind of programs, whether it's SNAP, Virginia Fresh Match, Senior Farmers Market, WIC Farmers Market, and by those two, we're talking about Farm Market Fresh and other local incentive programs. Try to reach out to farmers that aren't at your markets. We're always trying to bring on more on our end, but if you bring a farmer in, you could greatly grow that for all these other programs. So it's not just us that you guys are helping out, it's all these programs. And you all probably already know that, but just really, I mean, we're thankful for that. We're thankful for all the help that you guys can help with on that. Something I do want to plug in though is if you guys aren't familiar with them in your community, if like look for some local food system coalitions, especially because we are at DARD, we're trying to really improve our side of reaching out to farmers and going to places where we haven't been before, and talking and stepping into groups that we haven't been a part of before. And one of those are our local food system coalitions that we're trying to be more present in as well. So I encourage you all to try to find those if you guys aren't a part of them. Join them. Talk about like talk in those groups, or even just be there. I used to work for the health department out in Roanoke, doing community-based health initiatives and environmental solutions to address community health. And part of what I did was be a part of the local food system coalition. And just a lot of the time I just sat and listened to what was needed. But there was times where I heard, oh wait, I can help out there. Let me step in and provide my assistance. So be a part of what makes community and be connected and if you can, try to include us. We want to be a part of it. So one last thing, this is something new. This year we'll be providing every market that, or we'll be able to provide markets that participate in Farm Market Fresh with this sign, and this sign is only for market managers. So this will be like for a market manager table, for your table to kind of post it to, because a lot of people, they don't just walk straight to the farmer table. They sometimes walk to you all to ask questions about your market. So in an attempt to be more accessible and be more visible to participants, we are offering this up this year. It's a sandwich. We'll be providing you all with a sandwich board and a sign that goes in it. so that you all can post this, and it can be an area to just identify that your market has a farmer that participates in our program. And it has more has links to more information on it, and it has a brief description of some details about the program, but it's something that you guys can post at your markets to just help reach more more participants and more just members, and just be more visible. So if you want, if you would like one, scan that QR code, type in that link. We do have to budget for this beforehand, so we do have limited supply. Not saying we're going to reach that limit, but I do want to make sure it's important for you all to kind of act on this as soon as possible if you want one. So if you scan that QR code, we have a brief a few questions on some contact information we need, because we're not going to be directly sending them from us. We will be partnering with someone that will be sending them to you all. So we just need some contact info to be able to send them to you all. Each market is going to be limited to one. But if you are a manager that manages more than one market, and those two markets occur simultaneously at the same time, you can provide or you can request more than one sign. You just have to refill out the form again for that other market. If you have any questions on it, you can reach out to myself. My contact info will be at the end of this, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Then finally, we have this little call of action. I put it we've provided some goals that we have for this program. Over the next few years, we want to be able to have 400 authorized farmers throughout the Commonwealth. We currently are under 300. We really want to get that up to 400, and even higher. To be honest, we want to we want to be able to be everywhere. We also want to increase the program utilization to over 80%. And by 80%, I mean that's like that redemption rate that we talked about earlier. And then the big goal, the one that we really want everyone to be happy about, be able to live and thrive in Virginia, we want to really increase that access to healthy foods everywhere. Be a part of the solution. And with that, that's our presentation for you all. If you all have any questions, please let me know. Here's my contact info, and also Kelly's contact info. I'm going to be your go-to person to ask questions about just in general in the program. Again, if there's any questions on signing up for the new voucher process, if it's about the actual signing up for it, that's going to be in the materials provided to your farmers, and we can also make sure you all get that as well. Just so that you all are familiar with what the processes are. With that, that's everything. Thank you all for listening to my presentation about our program. Thank you to you all for being such a great part of this program and helping this program be as strong as it can be. Without you all, I don't know how successful this program would be, because you guys are just such a great tool for us and a great part of our team. So if you guys want to learn more, you guys can go to our website. It's farmmarketfresh.org. You can also go through the regular DARS website and find us as well. Yeah, thank you.
A few hands up, Matthew.
Yeah, and I also see that people are asking about the QR code, so I'm going back to that. Margaret, I've seen your hand up for a while. Is that just from last time, from earlier? Right, then Brian?
Hi, actually, I'm his wife, so I'm using his Zoom account. Sorry. Thank you so much for this session and for explaining the materials. So I do have a few questions. And I apologize that you may have already covered it. I had to come in late because I also do work full time. One of the questions stems from the approach of making that connection with seniors. But what we've encountered, and I should note, I'm a farmers market manager in Vienna, Virginia. It's growing. And in the cosmopolitan area that we live, we're encountering a lot of people that are from different cultural backgrounds, which our volunteers do not speak the respective languages to assist them. We want to assist them. We want to support them. So my question is, are those materials for the seniors going to be offered in the most prominent languages that we're finding in these highly populated areas such as Arabic, Chinese, Vietnamese, and Spanish?
So I can answer on some of that. We provide all the application, or we're going to provide all the applications in English, and then we're gonna translate the main senior one at least to Spanish, and then are gonna do some other translations that other regions request. So we're kind of like, we have it open to what some of the regions are requesting, and we're gonna make sure that at least the application is translated, and then some of the other materials will be translated into Spanish. But we honestly haven't discussed other materials yet.
Okay. Yeah,
but
I would have to really encourage you to do that, because the
Yeah.
majority of people that we're seeing coming to our market are people that are of these language groups. And I should note, I'm a volunteer. All of the people that facilitate the market in our market, they're all volunteers. So the goal is to make anyone and everyone that comes to the market feel included, feel welcomed, and to not feel stigmatized. So if I
Absolutely.
don't have the appropriate information to assist them, plus I don't have it in a language that can accommodate their needs in an equitable fashion, we can't even get past the first step.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to
Matthew,
promise anything.
Matthew, can I jump in and support you real quick? Hi there, this is Madeline Burnham. I also work on the Farm Market Fresh team, and I just wanted to ask you a quick question. Are you talking about the diversity in terms of your farmer population, or are you talking about your senior population?
Senior population. The farmers, we're fine. The senior population, they come from various cultural groups and English is not their first language, if at all.
Yes. So the challenge here is our farmer materials are provided in English and Spanish. The seniors materials and the WIC materials, we are working with a translation service to try to expand our capability to serve more individuals, especially now that this program is in very diverse areas such as Northern Virginia. So can you please repeat those language requests again for us so that we can keep that in mind as we work with the translation service?
The most predominant encounters of language that we have experienced have been Arabic, Chinese, Vietnamese, and Spanish.
Okay.
And there are diasporas up here in Northern Virginia that is very common.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so what I want to leave you with is to let you know that we are going to have a select number of other languages available for the participant side of it. It's our farmer side. We're only going to have English and Spanish for this year. But I also want you to know, because Matthew has created an online application process for seniors, once that is launched, anyone using a device such as have a family member such as like a smartphone or something, if their device is set to another language, then it will automatically translate the form for them. So we're trying. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, that's great to know, and I will let many of our.
Yeah. So
So
like
that-
you can have your cell phone, for example, set to your primary language, and it translates any of the websites you visit and things like that. So once this participant application is launched on the website, there are going to be other ways of translating it for those who need it.
Okay, that's good to know. I can say though, even not considering the language component, those individuals that are qualified and have enrolled in English have that English is their primary language, have come to us and have asked, and they have stated, I'm not very technically savvy. That's
Yeah.
not my forte. So, and I'm sure you're all aware of that, that is something that many seniors have expressed in saying, I don't have a way to do this
Sure.
through a technological means. I won't address that because I figure you all know about that
Sure.
so far. But my other piece of, and I want to stress this as a piece of constructive, positive feedback for you all is, I don't know how many other members of the audience there are paid farmers market managers. I know though that such as myself and other farmers market managers within Fairfax County, which is a very large county, several of them are volunteers. And so to be able to, I would just caution anything that would add additional work to their plate because they're already doing things on a volunteer basis that they can't take on anymore.
Sure.
So if there's a way to facilitate it as seamlessly, streamlined, and efficiently as possible, that way we can also ensure that the policy is understood, the guidelines, instructions are understood, but we can then train our respective volunteers who attend the market and manage the market too, to welcome anyone and accept someone and know what to do in these circumstances when a senior comes and says, hey, I have this voucher, how do I go about doing this? That I can tell you is very we don't know about that.
And
And
I'm sorry, this is Kim with the Farmers Market Association. I will say we worked with farmers markets that accepted the program, that came into the program last year. We did massive advertising through all of our social media, our newsletters. There was stuff going out throughout the entire year about the program. But the really great thing is that Farm Market Fresh does signs just as they have that this is a program that goes with the vendors. So it's not like SNAP or Virginia Fresh Match where you have a huge amount of responsibility that falls on you, but being able to drive the customers to the producers at your market that are accepting the program is great. And so you actually will get, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kelly and Matt and Madeline, but they generated signage last year that you actually can hang, laminated signage that you can hang at your market manager booth that states that you're in this program. They have these amazing sandwich boards this year that will show anybody coming into your market that you're in the program. And every vendor at your market has a sign that they must display that shows that they are participating in the program. We encourage market managers to have a list, and to even have a list that's hanging that shows all of the producers that are participating in the program. But really the majority of the burden of the work falls on the market producer, not on the market manager for this program. So you just need to add it, brand it in all of your advertising that you're sending out, just as you would SNAP or Virginia Fresh Match or POP program, any type of program you're doing. You just incorporate this, that you also accept senior and WIC vouchers, and that starting June 1, you'll be accepting them at market. Come on in. And then on our map that is tied in with all of the different agencies around the state, it lists your market and it lists all of the producers that have been approved at your market. So we had over, we're over 100,000 at this point of the maps that have been picked up at all of the welcome centers around the state, not to even to mention all of those that we have distributed at conferences and all of the things that we do, where folks can find any market wherever they are. And it very clearly states which markets are participating in this program and which farmers in that market are participating. So keep that in mind, the more you can do to clarify for your customers, but and educate your vendors, to also piggyback on your marketing and to let through their social media, let their customers know that they are participating in Farm Market Fresh, because all your vendors send out social media posts all of the time also. So just make sure you're all creating one message. Thank
I
you.
can't make that assumption though, that the vendors do that. And that's what I'm stressing, is that because they are the responsible entity for their operations, we can certainly encourage it and help it and try and cross-pollinate it, but I can't guarantee that. And as a nonprofit group, we also are based on the ability to just manage what we can with the volunteers we have. So in that vein, we're trying, but any additional assistance or guidance would be appreciated. One other final point is, I understand this begins June 1st. I don't know about the markets elsewhere, how early they begin, but I know the ones in Fairfax County, they're either ongoing or they begin in May. So is there a possibility of being able to get these kinds of trainings earlier in the year?
So the program begins for the participants June 1st, meaning the
Yes.
shoppers can start using their vouchers June 1st. But in order for us to provide all of the participants with the locations of where they can go to find participating farmers, the farmers and this whole agricultural side of it needs to be, that's what's going on right now, is we're trying to get these farmers enrolled, signed up, educated, get them their materials, get them their instructions on how to deposit the checks, get the virtual trainings rolling, and get this information into their hands so they're prepared for June 1. So that's why it has to wait until June 1st, because we have to prepare our farmers. This program has been going on for a really long time, but not across the state. And so not only do we need to kind of gain familiarity with a lot of the farmer population and just kind of help them understand this program, but we also have changes this year. So a lot of farmers have been doing this for 10, 20 years, but it's been the same. Now there's a voucher versus a check, and there are changes that have to be implemented. And so there's a lot of education and preparation that goes into the June 1 launch. So I hope that just explains it a little bit.
Yeah, it does explain it in the sense that I understood originally that customers can begin to then redeem their vouchers June 1st. But what my original statement was, markets open before June 1st.
Yes.
So that means there's an entire month where seniors will have to be turned away. We would be the individuals that have to say, along with the farmers, I'm sorry, we can't accept this until June 1st.
I'm sorry. I just want to include here that when the participants get all of their vouchers, they also get an instruction packet and are told this can't be used until June 1st. So we really try to get that message, hit that message home that this starts June 1st, but there may be instances where people show up sooner than that. We try to encourage the agencies to start collecting applications as early as April, but not necessarily send out the voucher packets until we're closer to June. So we do try to be mindful of that, because we would hate for that to happen.
And let me put some more clarification. Maybe this will give you a bit more understanding. Is like I said, we're cycled on when the program opens and closes, and I kind of talked about it ends. We have to close out accounts. That's the same for the beginning. We're limited on when it can actually start, because we also have to open the accounts that all the money is kind of stored in. So that, like, if we were to allow farmers to take the vouchers early, they wouldn't actually be able to get their money per se, like when they may start taking them. So even if the vouchers are in the hands of seniors and they're kind of ready to, if we were to allow them to use them early, it's like nothing can really happen with it. And we don't want people collecting vouchers when they can't even use them, because if like let's say they try to scan it, they won't be able to. They won't, like nothing's going to work for them. So
I that makes sense, and I appreciate that clarification. I maybe did a poor job of asking my question. If
no,
these
it's okay.
sessions, these foundational explanations and prep work, aside from the actual, I understand that there's the open period and a closed period. That's fine. The actual sessions that help both the farmers market managers, as well as the actual farmers, get prepared with the information. I know right now, out of the 3 applicable farmers out of the 5 I have, they're in their busiest season getting their crops ready. So this time it's crunch time, and if they don't make that an effort, a concerted effort, they won't have crops for the rest of the season. So my question is there an opportunity to have these fantastic educational sessions like you're offering now earlier?
So you're
Say,
referring to the trainings, correct? So the once a
yes,
month trainings that we have.
correct. I'm not saying start delaying or moving forward the voucher acceptance process. I'm talking about the actual administrative foundational setup, because
Okay.
that would be very helpful. I
Yeah.
could
So
ensure that you get more participants that way too.
yeah. So let me ask this then. Are you talking about like earlier into the year or earlier into the day in which they're offered?
In the year, I just saw a comment around January, February would be ideal. Many of the farmers, that's their vacation time. They are not in that critical period of, they may be ordering their seeds or their plants, but this right now is crunch time. This is making sure
Yeah.
that everything is planned in advance. They're aware of it. They have more time then to take care of those administrative things and follow up.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
will certainly keep that in mind.
Yeah, we can keep that in mind. January, February is part of our planning time, but we can try to see what we can work around to offer more. And I'll communicate that. Me and Kelly can talk about that. And we could try to figure out what works, like what works on our end to be able to be ready to actually provide that info. Because the last thing I want to do is get that info out too early and it changes.
Matthew, let me jump in too, because I know that we're on a time crunch. This is Kim, and we've got farmers that have literally walked out of the field from planting to be on the phone, and we've got a lot of information. So excited that all the market managers are really excited. We're happy to chat with you about it. You can send us questions. You can send them directly to Madeline and to Matthew, and they'll answer them. As well as, we started in January promoting this, as well as we have been out in the community with applications actively promoting this. And we will continue to do that as we move through the next few years. So if your market is interested in us talking to your farmers, we can do it by phone if you want to set up a meeting. If it fits in schedules, we can potentially come out in person. I've done 14 in-person meetings with markets with their farmers so far, as well as I've had 20 some over the phone for participating in the vendor kickoff meeting. So I want to throw this back to Matthew and let him wrap up since we're running out of time, and encourage any market managers that have any thoughts for how VAFMA can help you. We'd be happy to do that, and or any thoughts for Matthew and Madeline on resources that they would need to potentially make this run smoother. So Matthew, back to you.
Yeah. Like Kim just said, we're going to start to wrap this up. I see one name that with a hand up that I kind of want to just give like a minute to talk or ask whatever question your hand is up for, because if maybe your name is the same as who I'm thinking of, and you're not our VDAX representative, but Jennifer, if you want to say anything, if you're asking a question, feel free.
Okay, thanks. I think I'm the last VDAX one standing here on this meeting, but I'm in Southside, Virginia. So if you're in Southside, I got you. Don't worry about it. My question is, when will the app like Monday's training, will it be more in depth about what happens if things get lost in the mail, or who do we contact as the voucher partner and the app and all of that? Will that be more detailed on Monday?
I'll have more I'll be displaying more resources. The majority of that will end up being reaching out to the partner because this is their process that we're just running. So those kind of questions would end up anyway being relayed to them. So we'll reinforce that and expand in a little bit more detail in the regular farmer training. This was kind of like high level, introducing the
Right.
process. That's why I invite all of you to those farmer trainings, because then you'll be able to learn a little bit more and see what the farmers are learning. With that though, thank you everybody. Wrapping it up, I'll go back just so you all can take a quick snapshot if you want of our contact info. Feel free to reach out to myself for any questions. You can email me or give me a call. I will say email is preferred, but reach out in whatever way you need, and I'd be happy to talk about the program. If you want to pull me into some conversations in your community with your farmers or with everybody working at your market, I'd be happy to join in on that too. So again, thank you all for coming today. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.